Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Holy shit, I'm Angel, and this is my rant and ramble on Jedi Survivor. First of all, spoiler warning, I will be talking about the heavy shit that happens in this game. So first of all, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, though that's not true. I do like Star Wars, I just hate, and I'm not a fan of the Skywalker saga. But I love the world building, the lore, and almost every story that is not directly tied to the Skywalkers. And honestly, my favorite movie is Rogue One. Solo, it's okay. Would have been better if it wasn't directly tied to Han Solo. Could have been just like a random, dude, and it would have been great, I think. So I played the first one, Fallen Order, when it came out for a huge discount. I think it was like $20. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel the story was that good. It was just okay. So now I play Jedi Survivor because I also got it for a huge discount. It was like $30 on the PS Store, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play that before Rebirth. Might as well, because I'm aching to play Rebirth, right? So for this one, I loved it, to be quite honest. But, for the most part, no game is perfect, and I'm gonna break down what I like and what I didn't like in this video. So sit back and enjoy the ride. So I want to talk about the gameplay first. It was similar to the first one obviously, but vastly improved. I originally got the first one because it was a Souls-like, and I love Souls-like. Though it wasn't really a Souls-like, it was more like a Soul adjacent, because it has a couple of Souls mechanics, but it's mostly a Metroidvania, and I love Metroidvanias as well. And this one follows suit, though I felt that it was even less of a Souls-like. Just a feeling I got. To be honest, the first few hours of Jedi Survivor felt like a slog to me. I actually almost put the game down and stopped playing, but I'm happy I pushed through. It's just, things felt like they were moving too slow and I didn't feel like I could do much, which is normal for a Metroidvania game, but this one felt like it took way too long to get to the good bits, However, once I got the blaster saber combo and the air dash, I started having way more fun with the game. The additional lightsaber stances were really fun. My go-to ones were the double sabers because you could actually cancel out of animations into parries, which honestly is a mechanic that carried me through the game because I was parrying shit left and right. It felt awesome. The blaster saber combo, cause I felt like a swashbuckler. It was really cool. I almost felt like a fucking pirate. The damage was insane with a couple of perks that I found, and it was really fun to just see their health bars deplete. And the safety of range was really fun, to be able to actually dish out shit from far away without expanding your fucking force meter. The other saber stance, the Claymore, was okay, just a little bit too slow for my liking and not safe enough. If it would have had hyper armor, I would have probably used it more, but the lack of hyper armor really killed that one for me. Now, after you get a couple of the improvements into traversals, specifically the air dash, the exploration became way more fun because with the air dash, not only did the map open up more, but you could actually move way faster to the map, and faster is better in Metroidvanias. And holy shit, the dialogue between the random NPCs and specifically the separatist droids were amazing. The humor made me realize that the writers of this game got Star Wars, which is something I feel has been lacking in a lot of Star Wars media as of late. Star Wars is supposed to be lighthearted, it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be funny. Sure, you can have your angst, obviously, but you have to know how to break those moments with lighthearted humor. I remember I was exploring and I saw a droid next to a cliff, and obviously, being a Force user, I'm basically obligated to just force push people out of cliffs. And I remember the droid screaming, "What is happening?" That was hilarious. It was either what is happening or I don't know what's happening. Either way, I was laughing my ass off. Really fun. I just enjoyed the fact that they had like silly moments like that, because it's Star Wars. You should have make people laugh once in a while. So I hope more Star Wars media and Star Wars games follow suit with really good dialogue, really good comedic pieces. Not a whole thing being comedic. No, that's what we have Lego Star Wars for. But knowing how to break the moment with good banter, I would say. Let's talk about the story for a bit. No lie, this is my favorite Star Wars story right now. The first evil Jedi that you fight, I think was a dweeb. I think his name was Dagan. Dagan? Dagan. It was Dagan. Ah, man, he was a pisshand. He was whiny, asking Cal, how could you let these weak people take over the Republic? Talking about the stormtroopers. And I'm like, dude, go face off against Vader. He would fucking eat you for breakfast. One arm, dude. His boss fights were piss easy as well. Man, it was cool that he had like a Force Ghost arm that he could use. And I understand what they were going with him, his obsession with the mysterious planet and Cal's obsession with the mysterious planet, like as a way for Cal to reflect on himself. But I think it could have been done way better. Thankfully, he's not the main villain. I thought he was. But then he dies, and I'm like, there's still game. We're still playing. Where the hell is this going? And I'm glad where it went. Because honestly, I wish they would have given us more scenes with Master Cordova and Seer. Because they were in the first game, but the first game really didn't impact me that much, the story, so I barely remember anything about Seer. I remember that Cordova was the one that made BD1, but that's about it. And Seer, I remember she was a bit of a hard ass in the first game, I think, but in this game she was softer, and it was kind of nice to see her being friendlier, I think, because I don't think she was that friendly in the first game. Again, I forget. But I wish they would have given us more scenes with her to establish more the relationship between the characters, because they both die. And let's be honest, almost everybody that played this game guessed that Bode was a traitor. I can't be the only one. Like, it was pretty obvious. My girlfriend, who has not seen any Star Wars movies, I think, she was sitting next to me when Bode was in there, and she's like, who's that? I don't remember him from the first game. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's a random mercenary that's accompanying you. And she's like, he's probably gonna betray you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, like, it's this shit basically writes itself. Yeah. So it was pretty obvious when, like, you see Bode holding a pistol against Master Cordova and then shoots Master Cordova, and I'm like, oh, there we go. I imagine something like that was gonna happen, so whatever. But then, after an amazing chase scene, when Cal confronts Bode, and Bode fucking force pushes Cal, I popped. I screamed. I was like, what the fuck? Because I did not see that coming. Like, at all. And it was amazing. That was a great Luke, I am your father moment. Because there was no way of, like, was it foreshadowed? I don't know. I don't think so. And they do explain how it was that he was able to shield himself from being detected, because he just was that good at acting like other people. It was great. It was so great. I remember when I started playing, one of the reasons I got bored was I didn't feel there were many set pieces, like really cool set pieces. But then you get to Jeddah, and then in Jeddah you have like a fight against a giant machine while you're trying to escape it, and that was cool. The speed biker scene against Bode, and then, you know, fighting Bode because Bode is a Force user. Fuck, man. That was so cool. But then during the fight, Bode says, something's coming. I know you can feel it. So you should go back and help your friends. And as soon as he said that, as soon as Bode said something's coming, I'm like, oh shit, Vader's coming. Because then Cal reacted, what did you do? And Cal looks like he's gonna shit himself. And I'm like, oh fuck, Vader's coming. And then I was right, because then Seer was left alone, and I'm like, oh no, she's going to die. Vader's gonna get her. Case in point, the door opens, Vader's there. You fight Vader, which was a very fucking difficult fight, by the way. Vader is a fucking tank. And then she dies. Which was weird is that, like, she falls dead and then Cal grabs her, but we don't see how Cal got back to that place. That part was a bit confusing and a bit contrived, but you know, no game is perfect, no story is perfect. Even though anybody with a modicum of sense is gonna be like, how the fuck did Cal get there? At least show us that. Show us that he was traveling during this whole time, or like a lot of time happened between Vader leaving and Cal finding her. Because the way it's framed, it almost feels like Vader is leaving as Cal is arriving, and it's like, Cal, Vader is limping. Which honestly he shouldn't have been, because Seer, I don't think she was that powerful of a Force user in comparison to fucking Darth Vader. But Vader was limping. And how it was framed, Cal could have just gone up to Vader and fucking ended the fucking job. So why didn't he? Well, maybe they had a time skip and they forgot to tell us. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like that part to me was one of the weakest parts of the story. Like specifically that scene. Other than that, the story was amazing. And now, of course, on to the issues I have with this fucking game. It's an EA game. Of course it has jank. Because EA doesn't know how to give their game developers and designers the appropriate time to polish their games. God damn it, EA, when the fuck are you gonna learn? I read as I was studying the game, because my game crashed a couple of times and I wanted to know if those were known issues, which they were. I also found out that there was a there was a bug in the game that didn't allow people to get a specific achievement, so they couldn't like platinum the game. They patched it, of course, but still, like, what the fuck, man? This game came out in 2023. Come on, our standards should be way higher than this. But I imagine that's why this game wasn't even like mentioned for Game of the Year or like at all in the Game Awards. I don't know. Maybe Jeff Keighley has an issue with EA, which wouldn't surprise me. Man, like, polish your shit, EA. It's okay if a game gets delayed. Just fucking polish your shit. My game crashed twice. I fell through the floor multiple times, and I got stuck in the environment multiple times too, forcing me to restart the game and lose progress because the game doesn't autosave regularly. It's at specific intervals. I remember I had to replay like 18 minutes of the game. Which, like, oh no, 18 minutes of the game. It's like, yeah, dude, like, I'm used to do that back in 2004. It's 2024. Make your games autosave regularly. Give me a fucking unstuck option, because you know your games are jank. It was really funny, like, seeing Cal, like, floating in midair because he was just stuck inside the graphics of the environment. Jesus. Then some collectibles weren't spawning, so you had to reload the area, go back, and hope it was there. Graphical errors with the colors, I had to go back to the menu and re-equip the same clothes I had on with the same colors because it just was not loading. And worst of all, honestly, my biggest issue, the false difficulty. So this was like Dark Souls 2 at times, but in steroids. Because at many times they send waves after waves of enemies, and it doesn't seem balanced at all. Mind you, I played the game in Jedi Knight, which is the normal mode, which is what I use for almost every game that I play. I don't know, at some points I think it was way too overclocked. Way too many enemies. And of course you have your force powers, but you know, as you use them, your force bar depletes really fucking fast. And I had it maxed out. I don't know. Some enemies were just very overclocked. Some bosses were stupid as well. Fucking giant frog, Ogdo. I don't fucking know, man. Like, fuck that guy. And the fucking Rancor that could kill you in 2 fucking hits. Jesus fucking Christ. To me, that's just false difficulty. Because you don't have a way to dodge easy in this game. You couldn't cancel out of a animation to dodge. And if you were fighting them with the fucking cleaver, good luck. That shit was way too slow. Oh, another issue I remember is the map just popping in while I was standing in the void. That was fun. Just seeing lines of graphics and then like the world popping in. Like, what are we doing? This shit shouldn't stand, honestly, because again, shit like this holds this game back. Now, when I said that I played the game in Jedi Knight mode, it wasn't all of the game. It was most of the game. Because there were a few challenges that I had to do in easy mode because I didn't want to fight 2 Octobogdos at the same time. And I didn't feel like fighting 2 Rancors at the same time. So just like, you know, story mode and let me just like kill those things really fucking easy. The rewards aren't even that great either. Besides that, honestly, for the most part, the game was fair. I just wish they would have had a couple more bosses. Because a lot of the bosses were just reskinned enemies. There were very few unique bosses that they did. Besides that, a couple of places the game was a bit overclocked. But I'd say easily for about like 85% of the game, it was really good. Really, really good. Now I do hope there is a third installment so we can finish the story and we can give Cal his own trilogy. I think that would have been really, really awesome. Maybe have Cal fight off more of his dark side because you do start seething into the dark side in this game, which was really fucking amazing. The ability was really cool because you can just get way more power and everybody goes slow. My girlfriend was like, stop using that power, I don't want Cal to go to the dark side. I'm like, the dark side of the Force, Jedi. Couldn't help myself. It was just really cool, just like slashing enemies and killing enemies really fucking fast. Now, I forget the name of the witch girl. Marin, was it? Man, like a lot of these names were not memorable, but like the witch girl from, you know, like from the Dark Sisters, whatever. She ends up kissing Cal. That was cute. But I imagine if she dies, Cal will just go off the deep end. Maybe they'll kill her off in the third game, so Cal like has to fight off the dark side. That'd be interesting. I just hope they don't make the little girl we adopt a new main character. If you're gonna have her, keep her like an Atreus type character, like she's just there and helps you off from time to time. Because from what Seer's Force Ghost told Cal, train her well, something like that. She told Cal. I imagine she's talking about the little girl that you end up adopting anyways. By the way, that little girl's a fucking trooper. Her dad dies. Her dad turns to the dark side, takes her to an abandoned planet, dies in front of her, and she's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, I'll have steak. You don't see the little girl cry or anything. It's like, you know, fuck. Either she has issues, she's already a Jedi Master and she controls her feelings extremely well, or she is a psychopath. Who the fuck knows, right? I don't know. There's so many ways they could take the story now. They could actually have, like, an Inquisitor, a Ninth Sister, kidnap the girl, brainwash her into thinking that Cal murdered her father and then turns her into a villain. That's something they could do. Then Cal can, you know, restore her and redeem her or something like that. Well, I just don't want them to turn Cal into the dark side, make him into a villain, and then you have to redeem him as the little girl. It's like, no, I don't want that. I want to keep playing Cal Kestis because I'm autistic and it's what I'm used to. I'm used to Cal Kestis, you know? Is it just me? I don't think it's just me. It's not just me. Anyways, thanks for joining me in this rant and ramble. Here it is, your moment of zen.